James chapter 3 contains one of the best-known passages in all of literature dealing with the tongue. James opens the observation with, "We all stumble in many ways. Anyone who is never at fault in what they say is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check." He then proceeds to illustrate the damaging effects of inappropriate, careless speech. He starts by telling us that although the tongue is a very small organ, in many respects, it controls and, in the worst case, inflames the rest of the human being. Each of the analogies James draws cast a fresh hue on the subject. The horse's bit is tiny compared with the rest of the horse, yet it steers the entire horse. Something similar can be said of the relatively small size of a rudder that is able to turn a large ocean-going ship. The spark is also tiny compared with the conflagration it causes. However, in this case, the focus is not only on relative size, but on the horrible damage the tongue can achieve. Words have started wars, destroyed reputations, ended marriages, embittered souls, and added to the population of hell. In the next section, he plays off the first and last of these analogies. The notion of a bit in a horse's mouth might conjure up mental expectations of control and discipline. The reality, James insists, is closer to conflagration. We manage to tame all kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and creatures of the sea, but no one can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. In particular, it is the tongue's wild inconsistency that is offensive. The analogies James draws suggest that if with our tongue we praise God, and with the same tongue abuse God's image bearers, the praise we offer to God cannot possibly be more than religious verbiage. One stream cannot provide both fresh and bitter water. The focus on the tongue is rhetorically powerful, of course, but we all know that the tongue is not independent of the person. Someone has said that when we speak, our tongue, like a ladle, simply reaches back into our heart and spoons up whatever is there. Or, as Jesus put it, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Perhaps that is one of the reasons why James goes on to contrast two kinds of wisdom, because what is really at issue is who we are as persons. If our hearts harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition, that will surface in our speech. We are responsible for our own tongues, and what we need is the wisdom that comes from above, that James so graphically described in the last two verses of the chapter. Make it your prayer today that your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone in a way that is God-honoring and personally edifying.